Good evening and welcome to tonight's Formula Europe Champions League race. You join us for race 2 of Group A. Tonight we are in Brazil at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, the 15-turn circuit with a 4.3 kilometre length or 2.6 mile length, and we're certainly joined by the finest drivers in the Champions League at the moment. Tonight we have the F1 Spanish team, the F1 Simi team, Formula Nation team and the Formula Italian team, but also we have alongside myself tonight is Mark. As always, good evening.
Hello Craig, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thoroughly excited for the second race of the semi-finals, of the Group A semi-finals, shall we say.
Yes, it's going to be very intense moments. I mean, the last time, last week on the Tuesday, it was an epic race, don't get me wrong, but in Brazil, you've got to be spot on, and because obviously it's a track where you've got to get spot on the track, because it's obviously you don't want to get corner cut and stuff, but I think this is a track where the real drivers come out, and these are the drivers from the respected league sides prove that these guys can capitalise on under pressure moments. Craig, what is your expectations if you was driving around Brazil? I mean, what would be your most points, like most corners that you would look out for to get a perfect race?
I certainly think the iconic corners of the Senna S's is just, I think just Brazil as a whole, it's rich in history and certainly an integral part of Formula 1 and the Formula 1 calendar, and it's certainly a firm favourite for F1 fans alike. And I'm certainly sure that these drivers will be lighting up the timing screens as we get the first qualifying time at the moment, 109.8 from Simitone, but Kvyat breaks it by a 109.1, and Belgatti beats it going a 109 flat, so the times are tumbling down as the track evolves, and the top 5 drivers separated by 0.8 of a second. Simu Adeu, making a mistake, getting a 124.8, so possibly lifting for teammates or other traffic on his lap.
Yeah, oh my God, Craig, this is an unbelievable moment. Do you reckon we'll get into the 108s? Probably like
I
high 108s?
I definitely think that's possible, Mal, because the track rubbers in and the track evolves with the temperature, the ambient and track temperature, and we're not too far off it at the moment with a 109 dead. So it's certainly possible, but it's very close between Filo Belgatti, and Vettel 5 from the Italian team. So very close for the front row as so Kvyat from the Italian team sets a 108.7, smashing the competition by 0.3 of a second as Delaghe comes up to the start finish line and he goes 6th at the moment, so a 109.2, 0.5 off the lead at the moment, and the times are actually tumbling down. Smokeman just coming round turn 15, where can he go in the grid currently? In 9th position, moves up to 4th, so Smokeman in the Haas moves up to P4 at the moment. We do have 6 minutes remaining of this session, Mark, and it's edge of your seat stuff already.
There it is! Donny, that would be all magic. I do apologise, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Craig. I'll be losing my voice after all this, but this is an intense moment. But both the Italian team will be like fantastico, magnifico. Will they get an even quicker time? Oh my God, I'll be losing my voice. I'll let you carry on, Craig.
Absolutely electrifying from the championship title holders, the Formula Italian team holding on to the front row of the grid for the second semi-final race of Group A. So, Formula Italian team in a very strong position.
They'll be saying, we'll have a pizza, a margarita, nice, but after if they do well in this race tonight. But I'm watching Filo Belgatti coming up past the first sector. He's 0.2 quicker, Craig. He will be 0.2 quicker on the first sector. He's in within the second sector now of turns 6. Now coming up to turn 7, then into 8. It gets try and get the in. There's a beautiful on there, but goes through turn 9. Tries to get a better exit into turn 10. He already lost the car then for after the turn 10, but passes turn 11. I'm sorry, coming up to turn 11. They're coming up to the end of the second sector. Now he's 2/10 up still. We got yellow flags on sector 1, but I'm not moving yet until Via Belagati, I don't know how you pronounce it, but he's on the long DRS straight now. Oh, he's going to the pits?
Yeah, he's backed out of it, so possibly feeling that he wants to change onto fresh super softs with 4.5 minutes remaining of the session. Abraham currently, sorry, I'm just taking my time to make sure I pronounce that right. Abraham just coming round the end of sector 1, round turn 4 and 5, as he runs up the hill slightly towards turn 6, into turn 7, slightly unsighted at the crest of the hill, and into that challenging turn 8, looking to get the McLaren turned in, positioned perfectly so he can get in the power early from turn 9, running up the hill towards turn 10. Again, that challenging turn 11, just cutting the curve slightly, and he's flat out through turn 12 as he approaches the end of sector 2, but he's actually on a very slow lap at the moment, Malk. And he could be lining himself up for another hot lap, or he could actually be coming into the pits as Delegui is first to come back out onto the track, just coming round turn 6 up towards turn 7. So Delegui in the Ferrari, can he challenge the drivers in front of him moving back up the grid? It's certainly going to be a massive challenge for him at the moment. Half a second down on fellow former Italian team driver Kvyat, holding on to P1 as Kvyat and Vettel now come back on track, holding on to the front row of the grid. Simu Adeo still currently in the pits, but Smokeman in fourth in the Haas, beginning to come back on the outlap.
Yeah, they're going to try and get a better exit, better lap times in. But I'm watching F1 Sim tell me now, doing his actual lapping now.
Did not improve his position. Currently still in 7th. Does he have enough fuel on board to actually go for a second attempt, a second outlap? A second hot lap?
Delegui, he has got enough fuel for another lap, Craig. I've lost my voice there.
Looks as if Delmas could be going for another hot lap, back-to-back hot laps. He set a 109.4 down in 8th place as Fit Kvyat approaches the start-finish lane, looking to go for his final attempt in qualifying. Holds on to provisional pole as he approaches turn 1, the Senna S's. Oh, kisses the apex perfectly, gets the turn into turn 2. Hugs onto the apex at turn 3, just allows the car to come across over to the outside of the track. There's slight traffic ahead as he approaches end of sector 1 and turn 4. The double left-hander letting the car run wide slightly, then attacking turn 5 as he begins to approach the turn 6, going up the hill. A slight lift there, dropping down to 6th gear. Let's the car run wide now. He's actually went off track. Not sure if he's invalidated his time there, Mark, but he was pushing as Delegui moves up to provisional pole with a 108.6.
The Italian team are absolutely on fire at the minute, but we only got 1 minute and 40 seconds left, Craig. Watching Fit Kvyat come up to the last few corners now. On turn 12, come up to turn 13. Try and get a good exit here. I'm not sure if he's improved his time, but hopefully he'll try and get that DRS straight now. He will lose a bit of his time.
And Vettel did not improve on his lap time, so still down in P2 with P3. Oh, Smokeman in the Haas. So Smokeman from the Formula Nation team, and Filo Belagati also from the Formula Nation team overtake the Italian team, holding on to the front row of the grid. But Kvyat looks to be on a hot lap. He's 300ths of a second quicker his sector 1 time than he was in his previous lap. Delegui opts to come into the pits. He doesn't feel he can do any more on those super softs. But Belagati going even quicker in the Sauber, and Smokeman just coming round turn 9 up towards turn 10, and he's certainly looking as if he's pushing. So he's just trying to maximise his opportunities to hold on to provisional pole.
Oh my God, Craig. What's going to happen in the next 20 seconds? Oh, this is unbelievable.
Samu Adeu moves up to 4th with Real Fideli moving up to 5th. That drops Gavia down to 6th, but moves up to P3 after setting a 1:08.6. So, 800s of a second separating the top 4 drivers at the moment, Malk. As the checkered flag does come down at the end of qualifying, Bugatti does not improve in P2. Smokeman's backed out of it, running out of fuel. Kvyat also backs out of it. Samu Adeu looks to be on a hot lap, but he's down on his sector 2 time, currently in 5th. Did he have a good sector 1 time and sector 3 time to improve? On 5th position at the moment, it doesn't.
No.
He backs out of it. Real Fideli coming up the hill out of turn 14, currently in 6th. Malk, do you think he can improve on 6th position?
No, I think he won't.
Oh,
No,
he
he
doesn't.
wasn't.
He maintains 6th. Vettel 5, currently in 7th, run out of fuel. So it doesn't look as if too many drivers can actually challenge Smokeman from the Formula Nation team. So Smokeman seems to have secured pole position for the Formula Nation team.
Oh
So
my
an
God.
absolutely edge of your seat qualifying session there for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And if this has anything to go by, we are in for some spectacular racing, Malk.
Oh, you are right there, Craig. I'm already at the edge of my seat. Honestly, I'll probably be falling off after all those times going on. It was just unbelievable from the start. I have never seen those times in all my life in the F1 at the Brazilian Grand Prix. I have never seen those times, and I'm seeing them now. And these guys are like the top ones battling out. And from 1st to 7th is 2/10, Craig. 2/10 out of nowhere. It could be anywhere from anyone, but fair play to Smokeman. It would be like smoking on pole, but will he catalyse, Craig?
I think tyre strategy will also come into play as well, Malk. It'll be interesting to see what driver opts for the one-stop strategy, going from super soft onto the medium tyre. Or will we see drivers going for an aggressive, quicker two-stop strategy, pitting possibly twice for the super soft, then onto the soft? But you might even get those risking it that can try and push the super soft and the soft to the very edge of the cliff and looking to put themselves in a very promising and prominent position, because certainly the pressure is on tonight. A place in the final is up for grabs, and it's certainly all or nothing tonight.
What does it mean for points mean, Craig?
It certainly means prizes, Malk.
You heard that, son. You heard that, everyone. And as I said, it's going to be absolutely epic. The standings, it's going to be ever so close from these guys, and I'm hoping we'll have, as you said, hoping we'll have a cracking race. If we're seeing like that, we're going to have a cracking race, and we're probably just going to need a lot of drinks after all this tonight. So I'll let you do the standings quickly, Craig.
Well, qualifying does come to a close. Man secures pole position for the Brazilian Grand Prix, followed by Filo Belagati in the Sauber. Fit Kvyat from the Italian racing team will take third, followed by fellow teammate Delege. F1 Samu Adeu takes fifth, Real Fideli takes sixth, Vettel takes seventh, Samu Tommy takes eighth, Delmas takes ninth, Abraham takes 10th, and IVR Magic driving the Force India secures Welcome back to tonight's Group A Race 2 for the Formula Europe Champions League semi-final. Tonight there's a place for grabs in the final, and as you can see we have a wet race, a full intermediate race, and that certainly throws the cat amongst the pigeons and throws spanners into the works, Mark. And do you think that the wet race makes things more exciting?
Yeah, definitely, because you just do not know what to expect from these guys, and it puts out the best out of them, really, and because the final's at stake as well, this will be pulling right up to the top of the tests to see if they can capitalise, Craig. Do you prefer this, or do you prefer the dry? After
I prefer the dry race. I prefer going flat out through some of the corners, particularly the run up the hill out of turn 14. But looking forward to the wet race, certainly looking to see how these drivers can drive and compete in wet, challenging conditions. So the Smokeman will be the first car to take his place on the grid slot as we prepare for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix, this 36 lap race under wet weather conditions. So it looks as if all cars are formed up in their grid slots. We get green flags from the back of the grid. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We are Go! So the Smokeman gets off the line very well, begins to try and cover Belgatti from the sideboard, but Belgatti gets his nose ahead as he goes through turn 1 and 2. So Belgatti in the sideboard takes first place, with Smokeman dropping down to P2. Kvyat in the Red Bull all over Smokeman for P2. The battle between P2 and 3 as we approach turn 4. Kvyat on the brakes, moves inside that gap at turn 4 and moves up to P2. So great overtaking move from Kvyat.
I just thought F1 Simo thought he was going to go past FIT the ledge then, but we've got a good battle going on from 4th place onwards, Craig, and while Belgatti is pushed away from Kvyat, it's just going to be absolutely intense moments, Craig.
Yeah, drivers just trying to find the grip on track at the moment, so they're just trying to get their tyres up to race temperature, watching that they don't receive any front wing damage, so certainly very cautious. But Kvyat doing none of that, going very aggressive at turn 4, and certainly that aggression paid off. It secured them the position into P2.
Oh, it's just absolutely fantastic move from Kvyat. He just needed to get that boost for the Belgatti has got the quickest lap of 1:26.3. So we've got Real Fideli closing in on F1 Simo Adeo? Yeah.
Yeah, Real Fideli just hanging on the back of Simo Adeo as we go through the Senna S's.
He looks like he's struggling, Craig. He was trying to get out of the Senna S's then, but obviously I know this is a tough situation in the wets here, Craig, but this is absolutely have zero mistakes, and they hope to not, make mistakes on that one. So we'll see how these guys can capitalise.
And after that early overtake, Kvyat can't actually open up the gap between himself and Smokeman. Smokeman's still holding on to a healthy gap. It's now 0.8 of a second, so Kvyat not really maximising the gap between himself and Smokeman. He just can't seem to get too close to Belgatti challenging for P1 at the moment. The gap holding between 1.2 and 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, as you're watching that, Craig, Belgatti is trying to gain a little bit of an advantage, but it looks like he's dropping off a little bit. Then he's just gained a little bit, but at the minute he's in a comfortable position, and Belgatti's just done the fastest lap of 1:21.4, Craig. So absolutely intense moments here, because
just watching the telemetry screens as well, Mark, Kvyat seems to be catching Belgatti on the straight on the run down towards turn 1, so Kvyat possibly running with less downforce, and that's maybe why he's dropping off Belgatti through the more downforce dependent corners through sector 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think as you might be right there, Craig, because I mean, if you was driving in this, Craig, what would you have done for your setup? Would you have gone for more cornering, or would you have gone more for the straights?
Well, as you know, Mark, I always set the car up for the race and for the conditions of the race. So would have possibly put a softer suspension and a little bit more front and rear wing just to maximise turning as well. But it looks as if the guys are holding on to the conditions very well. We might see some overtakes once the racing line dries out a little bit, so that they can actually brake a lot later. But Delegui is still holding on to a 5/10 gap from Smokeman ahead. Is Fit Kvyat starting to open up the gap between himself and Smokeman. So the gap has increased from 0.8 of a second to 1.3, and Kvyat beginning to rein in Bugatti. The gap down to 1 second now, 1.1 out with the Senna S's, is Real Fideli currently holding on to Simu Adeu, and Vettel currently slightly behind Fideli again with the 8/10 gap, but Fideli starting to catch Simu Adeu as we come through turns 4 and 5.
Yeah, while you was watching that, Craig, I just saw a little bit, a few close, close to the telemetries from like IVR Magic and F1 Simo Delmas as well. There was like the two at the back, but as you rightly said, Craig, earlier, the Delege closing on Smokeman, but
well, it looks as if Magic is actually beginning to find the grip on track better than Delmas ahead, so it looks as if Magic currently being held up at the moment from Simu Delmas as we come round turn 13.
Yeah, I think it could get a good run in here. I think Kvyat's done the fastest lap of 121.2, but will IVR Magic, will he have a magic moment on here? But I doubt it very much. He looks like he's dropping off a little bit on the straights. He's probably got more for cornering. Abraham is struggling like, I don't know what, but he's struggling with his car at the minute with the intermediate situation.
Kvyat has actually just taken 6/10 out of Bugatti's time ahead. The gap down to 6/10, 7/10 of a second on the exit of turn 4 and 5. But as we come through turn 6 up the hill towards turn 7 and 8, this is where Bugatti starts to open up the gap. So Bugatti possibly running with a little bit more front wing and a softer suspension, optimising grip in the wet conditions.
Definitely, and he's doing everything he can tonight, Craig, and he's done an absolutely magnificent. And I know we've only got this is the 5th lap of 36, but he is doing a good job to hold on for first. And he's improved. He's making the gap a little bit bigger from Kvyat. But as you said,
and Delegui and the Ferrari starting to close down Smokeman, the gap down to 7/10 of a second. But it looks as if Smokeman has the better exit out of turn 13, so Smokeman able to put the power down more quicker than Delegui, and that opens up the gap for the run down towards turn 1.
Yeah, I think you are right there, Craig. I'm just watching the battle for Real Fideli and Fit Patel. This may be a battle going on in the next few laps, Craig. But I might go back to Fit Deledge because he's back within 3/10 of Smokeman. But will he try and get past Smokeman, Deledge? We'll find out in the next few laps, or the next few corners, hopefully.
Well, Vettel closing down Real Fidel even more so. The gap down to 4/10 of a second coming out of turn 5. We're now approaching turn 8. That's slightly challenging right-hander. Now they run up the hill from turn 9. Slight slide from Vettel as he began to put the power down out of turn 9 up towards turn 10, and that allowed Real Fideli just to tuck in behind Simu Adeu and open up the gap between himself and Vettel in 7th.
Yeah, we've got a train going on from F1 Simo from 5th place, but Real Fideli is closing in. He's trying to close in on F1 Simo, We had 2 quickest laps. I don't know who had it then, but I think it was Belgatti and then Kvyat. So it's just done a 1:20.8.
And
now.
Delege is on the gearbox of Smokeman as we come through the St. S's at turn 1, 2 and 3. And Delege short shifting up to 5th gear as he exits turn 3, trying to maximise traction. But it looks as if he's getting bogged down slightly compared to Smokeman. So Smokeman opening up the gap between turns 3 and 4. And as we approach the more twisty section of the Brazilian track, the Delege is actually beginning to rein in Smokeman.
Definitely.
So could Delege be lining up Smokeman for a braking competition, a late braking competition into turn 1?
Would you go for it, Craig? Would you do that?
Absolutely.
Or would you...
Absolutely.
Banzai! That's it. Yeah.
So I sort of interrupt you there, Mark, but there was a bit of oversteer snap for Delege's exits turn 9, trying to get that power down up the hill, trying to close down Smokeman. But it looks going into turn 13, Delege's better on the brakes than Smokeman, certainly later on the brakes, beginning to close down the gap. So currently half a second behind as we exit turn 15 on the run down towards the pit straight across in the start finish line, the gap 3/10 of a second. What we see are moving to turn 3. Delege's just too far back at the moment. It's going to come down to who gets the better exit out of turn 3. While we see Delege short shifted, he short shifts back up to 5th. Smokeman begins to open up the gap, and he almost escapes the clutches of Delege, fighting him for 3rd and 4th.
While you was watching that, Craig, there's a couple of battles going on from the midfield pack and at the back as well. From F1 Simo, I thought he was going to close in on Abraham then from 9th place, but F1 Simo had to brake late because he didn't want to clash with Abraham then. But IBR Magic is still holding behind in 11th place, but we'll go back to
and what is vital, Mark, in terms of championship standings with the current grid as Formula Italian team drops down to 2nd, with the Formula Nation team holding on to P1 with 86 points, and the Formula Italian team currently with 80 points. So it's absolutely vital that Kvyat gets the move done on Filo Belgatti for the race 1.
Do you think he'll do it, Craig? I know it's early doors.
It's a long way to go, and he's actually maintaining that gap. He's holding on to that 6/10 gap, and it might come down to who goes for the undercut. And yeah, we've got a long way yet to go. Oh, a bit of a slide from oversteer from Real Fideli, trying to put the power down on the exit of turn 3, right behind Adeu. I think there was a slight lag spike there, and certainly Real Fideli reacted to that, lifting off and trying to throw the car to avoid any contact on the run down towards turn 4.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to make a collision there, but the guys are trying the hardest to hold on for those intermediates. I mean, what lap would you have gone for if you had to pit now, Craig?
I think the intermediates in these conditions could possibly take to around lap 18. I think it's a standard one-stop race for the intermediates, possibly 2. Yeah, I think I'd be looking to pit round about lap 16, 17.
And for one stop, you would say, what you would expect really from a one-stop situation here?
Well, certainly, I'm pretty good at looking after tyres with the brake bias and the differential. So if I could try and stretch a one-stop strategy, then I certainly would. Kvyat has actually managed to get right on the back of Belgatti as we exit the Senna S's. The gap was 0.3 of a second. But Kvyat struggled to put the power down with the Red Bull on the exit of turn 3. That allows Belgatti to open up a 2/10 gap, making it a 5/10 gap overall. But Belgatti is struggling with the rear of the Sauber as he exits turn 4.
Oh, this is quite intense moments here, Craig. It's just unbelievable. This is like, it's like life or death. It could be final or no final. But this is just unbelievable moments here. But Vettel, I'm just going back to Vettel on 7th place, and he's trying to close in on Real Fideli. Now, but this is absolutely, and I can't stop saying absolutely intense. We've got yellow flags on sector 2.
Yeah, yellow flag, sector 2, possibly someone running wide. But at the moment we have a two-way fight for P1. We have a two-way fight for P3. We have a developing three-car fight for P5 between Simu Adeu, Real Fideli and Fit Vettel, with Simu Tommy 3.8 seconds behind.
Oh, this is absolutely intense. But we're Real Fideli, light break, holding on. He's just hold on for 6th place. He's trying to stop the F1 Simo Tommy. We'll try and get past him now. But Kvyat, Kvyat! It looked like he was going to go on the inside of Belgatti, but Belgatti just holding on for first. I don't know if there was something going on, but I just saw it the last second there, Craig. But Kvyat is just going to try everything he can to try and get back into this. Another battle going on. Regarding the fuel situation, Craig, as well, I forgot to mention, Kvyat's got more fuel than Belgatti. Belgatti. But will they do it?
So certainly more pace to come in the Red Bull of Kvyat.
Some wings afterwards. We'll hopefully give some more boost to try and get past Belgatti, and hopefully he'll try and get in. But it looks like he's trying to fight his car on a few of them corners, Craig.
Yeah, another snap of oversteer coming up the hill for Deleghi in the Ferrari. So a little pull to the left, and that allows Smokeman to open up the gap again. The gap currently holding at 0.5 of a second as Kvyat looks to get the better run out of turn 2 into 3. Belgatti sliding slightly. So could we see a Verstappen move from Kvyat, or a Verstappen-esque move from Red Bull driver Kvyat in a wet Brazilian Grand Prix?
Oh, I don't know, but he's got to do something, Craig. If he's got to get something for the former Italian team. At the moment, Belgatti is holding on for first place on this, and it's just we've not had any other battles, as in overtakes, since lap 1, Craig. So we have to wait and see if there's going to be any more during the, hopefully near, during the middle and the end of the race.
Yeah, certainly the wet weather conditions making it very challenging for all drivers, almost neutralising the grid at the moment, certainly with no DRS. So all drivers have to get it done old school, under braking in tow. Vettel sliding slightly with oversteering, began to put the power down in the exit of turn 13. Kvyat still reining Belgatti down. He takes a tighter line going into turn 1 as Belgatti struggles to get the Sauber turned in. So Kvyat getting the better exit from the Senna S's.
He's trying to hold on Belgatti. Oh, Kvyat thought he was going to do the Verstappen move there, but it's still too far back. But
yeah, I thought we were going to see a repeating move that he did on Smokeman, but he was just too far back from Belgatti, Mark.
Definitely. If you was in his position, Craig, do you think the undercuts would work, or do you think too much?
No, I certainly think the undercut is definitely worth considering, certainly in these conditions as well, and the time that you can make up with fresh rubber on a wet track can give you quite a significant advantage.
Definitely. But I mean, if I was in his position, I would go with what you said. I would have gone for the undertake, but it's just, I don't know if he's going to have to try and fight out against the other guys as well, who are pitty. But we might have close battle. Kvyat closing in on Belgatti. Oh, I saw the gap there, but he was too late for the late braking. But he needs to get a good exit off the S7Ss, and he might have a good exit here, but it's still too far back, Craig.
Yeah, I think he broke late there just to close down the gap, and Belgatti was certainly too far back to attempt any move without making contact. So I think that was just to catch up on Belgatti after a mistake at the exit of turn 13.
Definitely, Craig. But Belgatti, I haven't checked the penalties yet, Craig. I mean,
just as you're saying that, Mark, Vettel all over the back of Real Fideli. They got up down to 4/10 of a second. So Vettel beginning to close down Real Fideli for 6th place.
To be fair, these guys are trying everything they can to hold on with these tyres and the car, because the track is not, the wet conditions is not helping on any driver. But at the minute, Belgatti is still in the lead with first, Fit Kvyat in second place, Smoke Man in third, you got Fit Delege in fourth, you got F1 Simo in fifth, Real Fideli, FIT Delege has done the fastest lap of 120.7, but Kvyat's got a better exit on the centre exits. He's got to do it now. Belgatti looks like he's struggling. He's going to try. He's going in the middle. He doesn't know what to do. He's going for the inside. Oh, what a move!
Yeah, so he pulls off a repeated.
But a Belgatti. Oh, what a move!
Yeah, after going down the inside, runs wide at the exit of turn 4. That allows Belgatti to come alongside the inside and actually retake P1.
Oh my God! I thought Kvyat just done it. He had a good exit there, Craig. But Belgatti said, "No, I'll let you have one corner to be in the lead, but then I'm coming back in sunshine," and that's what's happened. Belgatti holding on for first, and that's things stand. It's just absolutely intense moments here, and Kvyat's just trying to hold on.
We'll be approaching the pit window as well, Mark, so it's all going to come down to who's going to blink first.
Definitely, but Belgatti looks like he's pulling away too much, and then but Kvyat's on the rich fuel. He's going back to standard. Oh, inside! Oh no!
Oh, it goes down the inside at turn 1, a slight wheel bang, and that knocks Kvyat to go wide. But with both Belgatti and Kvyat fighting, Smokeman started to close down the gap between himself and P2 Belgatti, with Delege close in behind, so we could see a 4-car battle for the race lead.
Oh, will we see 2 in the bed or 3 in the bed situations, Craig, on this with the overtakes at each corner?
Well, Belgatti taking a tighter line up the hill on turn 6.
Oh, he got it inside!
And 7. Oh, he's on the inside, just clips the side pod of the Red Bull, lifts off, allows Kvyat back into the lead. But this fight is going to compromise their position against Smokeman in 3rd and Delege in 4th.
Oh, definitely, Craig, definitely here. We might have the train going on here, but Kvyat's going to try and pull away a little bit here, but Smokeman's still holding in 3rd. But Belgatti's still holding on for 2nd, but he's going to try and get that big of a boost. But Kvyat...
and there's a bit of a train developing behind Kvyat as well. So it's definitely a 3-car train between behind race leader Kvyat.
Yeah, choo-choo on this. Well,
Delege having a sneaky little look on the inside, turn 1, too far back. Smokeman goes defensive and covers that off.
Oh, as we was watching that, Craig Vettel has moved up to 6th, but Real Fideli is going to try and pounce on Vettel. But will Fideli try to catch up to Vettel? He's going to try.
Yeah, no, Real Fideli just kept pulling out of the toe, trying to get out the spray of Vettel ahead, just trying to get a look at the apex to break as late as possible. Got him slightly closer, but not close enough to affect a move into turn 4.
No. This is the tyres must be screaming like a madman to say, get me into the pits, because this is the time now to pit, Craig.
And as the top 4 drivers battle out on track, Simo Adeu and P5 beginning to close the gap, so possibly a 5-car battle could be developing in the next few laps. But as you say, Mark, the pit window will be coming into effect as Kvyat comes into the pits, followed by Belgatti. Smokeman stays out on track, and Delege pits as well. So the top 3 drivers come into the pits with Smokeman staying out on track, followed by Simu Ideu. Real Fideli also stayed out on track.
I just saw Kvyat just had his wing changed, Craig.
Yeah,
So he might have
possibly
had damage.
looking for a little bit more front wing, or was it a full front wing change, Mark?
Yeah, it was a full wing change. Oh, I thought he lost it there on the exit of the pit exit. There, I couldn't say that, but I'm hoping he hasn't got more front wing damage because of that. He just totally lost the car. It looks like he hasn't got any front wing damage anyway, but at the minute, oh my god, Belgatti on 6, closing on Abraham, turn 6 and 7 I think.
Yeah, and what is vital for the race lead, Belgatti came out just behind Abraham in the McLaren, but Kvyat, who was actually leading the race at the pit stop, comes back on track in P9, but what's even more vital, he's behind Delegui and Belgatti.
Oh, definitely. But will Abraham hold on for 5th? Belgatti's still trying to get past, but Smokeman and F1 Simo and Real Fideli have all pitted, Craig. They have all pitted.
Yeah, so Belgatti just lining up Abraham as we come through turn 15, as Abraham comes into the pits. Delgatti all over the back of Belgatti. There's a look on the inside. There's a slight gap. He's went for it. And Belgatti goes defensive, just holding on to the inside line at turn 2, and certainly compromises Delegui's exit. And from turn 2 into turn 3, Belgatti defends very successfully, holding on to P1 as Smokeman just tucks in behind the front 2 drivers, followed by Simu Ideu, and Kvyat moves back up to 5th with the cars alongside going into the pit lane.
Oh, the standings will be changed. We'll find out in a bit what happens in this situation, because we don't know what to say anymore, Craig.
I think in terms of Formula Nation in the Italian team, it's pretty much the same, because Kvyat and Delegui, both from the Italian team, should still roughly give the same amount of points, with Belgatti giving the same amount of points to the Formula Nation team. So still a very strong position for the Formula Nation team at the moment, but a 3-way battle for the race lead is developing, with the top 3 drivers separated by 1.4 seconds.
Oh my god. Oh, this is intense. Absolutely intense moments here. Because I was watching Fit Kvyat closing on F1 Simo, and he has got the fastest lap, Fit Kvyat, over 120.5. So he is meaning business here. But Smokeman and FIT Delegui is trying to catch up to Belgatti here, because this is absolutely intense moments here. And I can't stop saying it, because it is absolutely intense. We might, as you said, Craig, we will have a 3-car battle for the next 16 laps of the Brazilian Grand Prix for this semi-final.
And it's vital that Kvyat doesn't get held much longer behind Simu Ideu, currently down in 5th. He actually wants to get past the Renault challenging Smokeman for P3, and I wonder if we might see team orders develop from the Formula Italia team between Delegui and Kvyat. It would depend who's actually the quicker driver, who can actually give their team the best opportunity for the race win against Belgatti, holding on to P1 at the moment.
Well, as you said, Craig, the fuel, as I was just saying about the fuel situation, Belgatti has got about half a lap of fuel left. Delegui has got over 2 laps of fuel, and Belgatti's just done the fastest lap on 120.3, and Smokeman, Real Fideli's done the fastest lap on 120.1. Smokeman has got 0.7. Kvyat has got a 3-second time penalty, Craig, for multiple. So this is not good for this when you're trying to catch up to F1 Simo.
Yeah, and that's the first driver to actually receive a penalty for corner cut warning. So that will certainly come into play later on in the race. if Kvyat can actually get close enough for Bugatti, and if he manages to overtake him, he'll certainly have to open up a 3-second lead to secure the race win.
Definitely, but fair play to Bugatti. Smart man.
And Kvyat still struggling to get past the Renault of Simu Hideo, but it looks as if Bugatti was very quick to switch on those new intermediate tyres, and certainly using them to the best of his advantage, certainly over his competitors. And it was a great performance from the mechanics down at Sauber to actually get Bugatti to overtake Kvyat when he actually came in behind Kvyat, coming into the pits in P2.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes here, but will Pit Patel's trying to get past F1 Sigma Tommy for 7th place, Craig. It's just absolutely intense. But I want to try and get back to the top 3 and see what their situation is, because Will Vettel, I thought he would have done the bonsai moment. Oh, come on, we need more.
Yeah, he could be lining up Tommy for a move into turn 4. Just looking to tuck in behind them to get the toe, but Tommy just too far ahead at the moment to try any late braking move into turn 4. Simu Tommy runs slightly wide as Vettel takes a tighter line between turn 4 and 5. So Vettel looking to get up the grid and securing the best possible finish for the Formula Italian team.
Yeah, we're trying to do everything they can, Craig. Absolutely intense moments, because the Formula Nation team, they're just laughing at the minute, because their driver Bugatti is just holding on for first and he's doing everything he can, but you just don't know what to expect, do you, tonight? Because fair play to these drivers, and
going along the pit straight, Bugatti trying to break the toe from Delegui behind in the Ferrari, but Delegui just following the Sauber coming up towards turn 1. The gap still 0.6 of a second, with Smokeman 0.7 behind, but Simu Hideo beginning to catch Smokeman in P3. The gap down to 2.1 seconds, but Kvyat starting to drop off from the Renault of Simu Hideo, so possibly Kvyat struggling with the tyre temperatures on those fresh intermediates, as Real Fideli in 6th with Simu Tommy in 7th, and Vettel still stuck behind them by half a second down in P8, while Abraham in 9th, Dermas in 10th, and Magic in 11th. Don't know if he's having issues with his gearbox, but he was stuck in 7th gear, getting really high revs off the engine before he went into 8th gear. So I'm not sure if Magic's struggling with gearbox issues.
Same with Patel. He looks like he's revving too much on the gears, but I don't know if it's an issue with the gearbox or what, I don't know, but we'll have to find out in a bit. Kvyat's done the fastest lap of 120 flat. He's tries to mean business on this, but he's trying everything he can to get past F1 Simo, but he can't do anything about it at the minute. But Patel for 7th! Oh, he saw the gap then, but he thought he would have gone for it then. He's got a bear exit.
He might go for a switchback round the outside, but he just can't find the grip off the racing line. But he tucks in behind Tommy. He'll get the toe and the pull along up to turn 4. Will he come out the toe and make the move up the inside? Tommy gives far too much room there, slight wheel banging, and that allows Vettel to move up the inside where the gap was and moves up to P7.
That was vital for Vettel 5, because he needed to try and get past for the Formula Italian team, to try and get some points for this semi-final of race 2 of Brazil.
And that looks to be a very favourite overtaking position for the Italian team. That's 2 Italian team drivers making the overtake on the inside at turn 4.
Definitely, and they've capitalised on it really well there, Craig. But we've got 12 laps left. Sorry, 11 to 12 laps left of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Will we see a Do you reckon there'll be some shocked in the top 3, or do you think this is what you're going to see at the end of the race?
Well, it looks as if the top 3 drivers are actually holding position. They don't seem to be getting an advantage over any of the other 2 drivers. Delegui seems to get a little bit closer to Bugatti, but Bugatti then begins to open up the gap. So it could come down to a last-ditch overtaking move to allow us to see any changes in position. But at the moment, the top 3 drivers still remaining and very, very equal at the moment, Mark.
Definitely, and you just cannot pick which one will take the win tonight and bring their team into the final.
The gap certainly tightened between P1 and P2 and P2 and P3, so Smokeman possibly lining up Delegui for an overtaking move into turn 1. The gap 0.3 of a second. Delegui will slightly get the toe from Bugatti, but Smokeman will get it even stronger as he's even closer. There's Delegui in the Ferrari trying to break the toe as he weaves slightly on the run down to turn 1, but Smokeman just tucks in behind Delegui, who's also tucking in behind Bugatti from the during the Senna S section. So as the top 3 drivers run down towards turn 4, we have Bugatti leading the race, followed by Delegui with the Ferrari in P2, followed by Smokeman in the Haas. The top 3 drivers separated by 0.7 of a second. Yep, that's 0.7 of a second, less than 1 second between the top 3 drivers, and we just don't know who's going to secure the race win as we have 10 laps remaining of this 36 lap race. And please get online to Twitter and vote for your driver of the day. Will it be Bugatti? Will it be Delegui? Or will it be Smokeman? Or will it be someone else? So please cast your votes for the driver of the day, and the results will be announced at the end of the race.
Oh, as you said that, Craig, I've just got the live teams ranking at the minute. Formula Nation at the minute, 86 points. Formula Italian team, 76 points. F1 Spanish team, 38 points. And F1 Simo, 32 points. But, oh my God, Delegui, oh no, no!
Yeah,
oh my God!
As if there was slight contact between the Sauber and the Ferrari as both drivers go wheel to wheel round turn 2. Bugatti gets his nose ahead at the exit of turn 3. Delegui looked as if he had to lift off, but that puts him in danger with Smokeman behind looking to get a move down the inside at turn 4, but Delegui just covers him off. Smokeman not close enough to get a move done, but Smokeman possibly just remaining patient, allowing the front 2 drivers to battle out on track, and then Smokeman will seize any opportunity or pouncing any mistake between Bugatti and Delegui. Delegui running slightly wide, and there's a bit of a slide. He's beginning to put the power down at the exit of turn 9.
Definitely, but F1 Simo's just joining the pack, as well as Fig Kvyat. Craig, we might have a top 5. We might have a top 5 battle here. I think we only got about a few laps.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mark. So we could have a 5-way battle for the race lead with 9 laps remaining. So we don't know who's going to win this race. But Bugatti starting to open up the gap between himself and Delegui. The gap opening up to about 6-7 of a second with Smokeman tucking in behind Delegui. The gap 0.4 of a second with Simu Adeu at 0.8 behind third place with Kvyat 0.7 down.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, Smokeman's under the 2.10. He's going for the...
Yeah, you're right there, Mark. I thought he was going to line them up there, but just can't get close enough. But got a great exit out of turn 4. Will we see him chuck it up the inside at turn 6?
No. It would have been a fantastic move, and I would have applauded that if he'd done that. And I would have said he would have been smoking on that, but I don't think he will. But will Delegui try to get past Bugatti on for first place? Craig, answer this. Do you think Bugatti or Smokeman or Simo or Kvyat will try and get into the top 3 and stuff, or top 1? shall we say?
I think that's quite a tough question to ask because although they want to get ahead, they want to get the race victory, they have to be very cautious and be very mindful of the cars behind. So although they might want to risk it, there might be a risk too far, and they might lose out on the long run with those slightly behind.
Yeah, hopefully they don't want to lose it there, but Belgatti gets a good exit again from after the centre S's. He gets that little bit of a boost out of nowhere, and Belgatti is trying everything. He's got...
Yeah, and Smokeman locked up the brakes slightly and drifted wide at the exit of turn 4. So it didn't really get the optimum exit from turn 4. That allows Simo Adeo to start to close the gap again. The gap now down to 0.4 of a second.
Oh my god, this is absolutely intense stuff. But if you only just joined us, guys, there was an epic start, and now we've got a 5-car battle, Craig. We have got a 5-car battle, and as Craig said earlier, please make sure you cast your driver of the day votes. The votes will stop at the end of this race, so keep those votes coming in, please, guys.
So as we begin to start lap 30 of 36, Belgatti maintains the race lead, aye, that's a good one, the race lead by 0.6 of a second, but Delegui under braking closes that down to 0.4. Smokeman still stuck behind Delegui in P3 with Simo Adeo right on the gearbox of Smokeman. Has a little look on the inside on the run down to turn 4, and it looks as if Kvyat is starting to drop off from the front 4 drivers.
You are right there, Craig. It does look like he's dropping off a little bit there, but I think he's just trying to... no, I thought he would have been saving fuel there, but he's not. He's still on standard. Same with F1 Smokeman.
He could possibly just be dropping off a little bit to cool down the engine and actually get out the spray from the Renault of Simo Adeo ahead.
Yeah, I think that you might be right there, Craig. You might be right there. But here we go. Will Delegui has to get a good exit here. It looks like Belgatti just gets a good exit from the last few corners and the start of, at the end of the S's, centre S's. But Delegui,
yeah,
come on!
He moves out the toe from Belgatti very early, possibly just trying to scare him a little bit in the wing mirror. So possibly mind games from Delegui on that run down towards turn 1. But Smokeman beginning to drop off slightly now. The gap's increased to 0.7 of a second, while Simo Adeo maintains that gap from himself, and Smokeman ahead. That gap still 0.3 of a second.
Oh my god. From third, Craig, Smokeman, F1 Simo and Kvyat, they were all bunched in together from turn 4 of... Oh my god, this is intense moments here. Absolutely intense. And these guys are top drivers for their respective leagues on their sites. But they're doing a cracking job tonight, Craig. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, and when we're looking at Belgatti's entry into the corners compared to Delegui seems to get that car turned in a little bit sharper, so a little bit better front end from the Ferrari. And if he can get the power down a bit earlier compared to Belgatti, he could possibly get a move done under heavy braking. Comes out with the toe. I think he's just trying to get out the spray from the Sauber ahead.
Yeah,
so if he can stay in the toe slightly longer and just coming out at the last minute, he might get the move done under braking. Simo Adeo all over the back of Smokeman on the exit of turn 3, on the run down to turn 4, looking to go round the outside. Smokeman takes the defensive line on the inside, then runs wide. Simo Adeo tries to go for the undercut on the inside, but Smokeman just comes across, hold on to the racing line. Oh, Adeo having a little look on the inside on the turn 6 and 7. but Smokeman just closes the space.
Oh my God, I thought there was going to be a nasty collision there, Craig, but I thought Simo would have just crawled in into like the inside, but Smokeman holding on for third on the last podium place of tonight's race at the Brazilian Grand Prix.
Yeah, Simo Adeu are very aware that time is running out, and he was just trying to have a little sneaky move up the inside of Smokeman, but Smokeman was certainly having none of it.
No, they're dropping off a little bit now. Simo's dropping off, I think, as you said earlier, mate, because of trying to calm the car, and we're trying to cool the engine down a little bit, try not to get away, try not to caught up with the spray, but Delegui, he's trying everything he can. This is lap 33 of 36. I got a feeling he's not going to catch into Belgatti in the next few laps. He's trying. I think the best chance he had was on lap 30, I think it was, where he went through the inside, but it looked like Belgatti was trying to stop him from getting through the gap of Delegui, but obviously I'm going to need to review it after the race, but it looked like that was the only opportunity that Phil Delegui had tonight, Craig.
Yeah, and Kvyat all over the back of the Renault of Simo Adeu as we come through the windy turn 8 and 9. Slight bit of oversteer from Kvyat as it gets the power down, so the rear of the car not wanting to play ball with him. As Simo Adeu again, a little snap of oversteer as we come down the hill at turn 12. So, and that allows Kvyat to close down the gap of the Renault. He's trying to get tucked in behind, but again, wheel spin from the Red Bull as the power comes down. And it looks as if Kvyat's got a good run on Simo Adeu. He's stuck in the toe of the Renault head. Simo Adeu parks the car in the middle of the track. Runs slightly wide, but comes back onto the apex. Kvyat taking a tighter line, but Simo Adeu defending very, very well against Fit Kvyat and the Red Bull behind.
He's doing really well there for Simo. I just saw the last glimpse of it, Craig, but Kvyat does not want to stay too long because he has got that 3-second time penalty, as we said earlier in the race. But obviously he will stay in fifth, but he doesn't want to stay there too long in case Real Fideli might catch up to him. I know there's only 2 laps left, or 3 laps left if you call it, but it depends on how these guys can capitalise. But as things stand, Belgatti in first, Delegui in second, Smokeman in third, which I'm watching now from third place, F1 Simo in fourth, Fit Kvyat in fifth, Real Fideli in sixth, Fit Patel 5 in seventh, F1 Simo Tommy in eighth, Abraham in ninth, F1 Simo Dalmas in 10th, and IVR Magic, not a magic moment, in 11th place, Craig.
Yeah, and it looks as if the track is drying out, so drivers might actually struggle looking after the intermediate tyres. The tyre temperature runs very high with a drying track, so we could see a few changes to position as the tyres overheat. So Delegui starting to close down Belgatti a little bit, takes 2/10 out of him, but Smokeman starting to drop off from Delegui, the gap up to 1 second. We don't have DRS activated yet, so certainly race control don't feel the track's dry enough for DRS, as we are actually on the penultimate lap, lap 35 of 36, your final call for getting your votes in for the driver of the day, as Delegui is actually all over the back of the Sauber coming through turn 9. So can he get closer and get one final opportunity on that run down towards turn 1? So it's going to be all or nothing for the Formula Italian team driver. Oh, the Sauber not wanting, it's snaking slightly under power as they approach turn 13. So Belgatti really struggling with rear grip, trying to get the power down. Delegui's got a great run on him. The gap 2/10 of a second. Delegui on the toe from Belgatti. Can we see a change in the driver positions for the lead? Delegui goes round outside. Belgatti lifts off, but Delegui goes deep. Belgatti looking to come back. There's contact. There's contact in turn 2. And it looks as if Yeah, Belgatti lost it after that contact, runs off track at the turn 5, and that changes everything in the group standings. So Delegi moves up to P2, followed by Smokeman, who's promoted to Delegi in the race lead. Smokeman in P2, I'm confusing myself now. Simu Adeu moves up to the final podium slot with Fit Kvyat holding on to third, and it's vital that he opens up a 3-second gap to Belgatti behind, because Belgatti will be promoted to P4 after penalties are applied.
Definitely. What was your overall view of that one, Craig? Do you think?
Looks as if both drivers were really fighting for position, and as the turn or the section narrows into turn 2. Oh, Delegi losing the back end! At exit of turn 3, Smokeman could secure the race victory after taking pole position. Oh, he just doesn't have the pace to get past the Ferrari on slight contact, but he had to lift, and that could bring Simu Adeu into play in the Renault. Simu Adeu takes P2 as we went across the finishing line. What a absolute finish to the race. Smokeman just get caught in behind the leg in the Ferrari, and actually had to lift off as he lost front end grip, so he lost the front grip of the car, and he had to lift, and that allowed Simu Adeu to actually come through and secure P2.
Oh my God, fair play to these drivers. Smokeman will be thinking, he thought he could have got first, but then he dropped down to third because he had to get lifted. But fair play to these guys battling out. It's just absolutely intense. IVR Magic is the last person driving in to cross over the line in a bit now. He does now. Oh.
Yeah, so possibly a steward's inquiry at the end of the race for the incident between the Ferrari of Delegi and Belgatti in the Sauber. So we'll wait to see. But the most recent group standings that we did get was the Formula Nation maintained the race, the top ranking in Group A, followed by the Formula Italian team. F1 Spanish team secures third, with F1 Sim team securing fourth. But that could be subject to change after we review incidents in the race. So we'll certainly wait to hear from the race director to see what will happen. So at the moment, the provisional standings are Fit Delegi takes the race win, followed by Simu Adeu in P2. Smokeman will take P3. Belgatti takes P4. Kvyat P5. Real Fideli takes 6th. 7th for Vettel. 8th for Tommy. Abraham will take 9th. Simu Delmas takes 10th. And IVR Magic secures P11. So we will await the drivers to join us in the commentary box for the podium interviews. So we have been joined by the race winner, Delegi. Delegi, that looked to be a very exciting finish to the race, and it looked as if you were really battling hard against Belgatti. Could you share us your experience of the overtake on the final laps of the race?
Hi everyone. Well, very chaotic race. I started very well. I maintained my position in the very first laps, and I tried to stay with Davide Smokeman during all the race. At the 16th lap, we decided to pit for make an undercut to Smokeman, and it works. It works very well. And after the broken wing that Kvyat has changed in the box, I passed to second position, and I try to attack Belgatti, but there was a problem because he was lagging a little bit, so I risked to broke my front wing at least 2 or 3 times. In the final lap, I tried to overtake him for secure the victory of this race. I know that I was faster. I know that I can do a good result for the team that deserve it, and for this reason I try to pass in the S de Senna, but he closed me to the curb, and we touched. And the rest of the lap, I was the track was very slippery, so I lost the rear in a couple of times. But in the end, I win. A special race for me. I want to say thanks to the team that gave me this opportunity. And I apologize to Davide, to Smokeman for the last lap, for the last meters. But I have to close the door because it was too important for me.
It certainly looked like on the exit of turn 13 that you were actually struggling with the rear end grip. Was that because of the changing track conditions, or was that because of tyre wear?
But I think it's because the tire wear, especially because the track was getting dry. So lap after lap, the car was very slippery, and in the last lap, last kilometers, I lost the rear in the last corner. But I think it's because of the tire wear.
Okay. Thanks very much. So we move on to the second place driver, Simu Adeu. Exciting finish to the race for yourself. It looked as if you were coming under a little bit of pressure from Kvyat at the end of the race. Did you at any point in the race think you were going to finish on the podium?
It was a really tough race. I think I could do a better qualifying, but started P5 was not too bad. In the first stint, it was not easy for me, but in the second stint, I think I had a really good pace, and Kvyat only attacked me just one time, I think. It was not really a problem to stay in front. I was just focused to catch the guys in front of me, and I was really fast. I tried on Smokeman 1 or 2 times, but I couldn't pass. And yeah, I was pretty sure that I will finish P4, but everything can happen in the last lap. So with the guys who pits in lap 17 and me, I pitted in 18. So I had a little advantage with the rear tires, you know. And in the last lap, in the last corner especially, I think it worked very well for me. I had a good traction, and the last race was intense, and yeah, I couldn't believe it that I finished P2.
It certainly looked round about the midway point in the Brazilian Grand Prix. I think the gap was about 2.1 seconds. Was there any point when you were beginning to close that gap that you felt confident about having the pace and the fresher tyres to actually challenge the drivers ahead for position, or was it just focusing on holding position, remaining defensive and aware of Kvyat behind?
Well, I was really confident in the second stint. I didn't know what to do because I really didn't want to break my wing, so I didn't want to take too much risks, and We had a little touch with Smokeman at lap 30, I think, or 32. So in the last laps, 5 laps, I didn't want to make an attack, just hold my position, because it was good points for the team after the bad result in China. So I really didn't want to bog the car and finish in the wall. It was true. It could be a really big mistake to do that.
Okay. Thank you very much. We move on to Smokeman, who secured pole position and finished third after almost just getting tucked in behind Delegate at the end of the race. Smokeman, it looked as if you got a difficult start from the race, and certainly it left the door open to your teammate Belgatti. And I think you actually lost out to Kvyat as well, but looked to come back later on in the race. Did you feel that as the race developed that you had the pace to challenge for the win prior to the final few laps of the race?
Yeah, at qualifying, I think I did a good lap, and I'm very happy for the pole lap. At the start, I have a bad start, so I decided to let Bellegati, but then I lost the position from Kvyat, so I decided to manage the race, and nothing. I had keeping a bad pace, but I don't want to do some errors, so the podium is a good result.
It looked as if when Bellegati and Kvyat went into the pit lane and you remained out on track, was it your intention to go longer in the race, to go for the fresher rubber at the end, or was it your intention to always pit on the lap that you came into box?
I tried overcut because I think that on wet condition the undercut didn't work very well, so I tried, but I lost the position from the ledge.
And it certainly looked as if it was very tough on yourself to lose out on P2 after battling for the race lead. Is there anything that you wish you had done differently in the Grand Prix, or are you fairly satisfied with where you finished tonight?
My objective was to bring some points, as many points to the team, so the third or the second place is the same for me.
Okay. Malcolm, wonder if you've got any questions that you want to ask our race winner and our other podium drivers.
I just want to say, it'll be quick, I promise, guys. The Ledge, I just want to say massive congratulations on your win tonight. At some points during the race, I thought our heart was in our mouths. I was at the edge of my seat because it looked like he was trying to push your car passing Belgatti, but at one point it looked like I think it was in lap 29 or 30 where you had the chance to get past Belgatti and he moved into the left, and I thought, oh no, he's got no gap. I thought he wasn't going to get past, but at some point, did you ever thought you was going to get past Belgatti, or did you think there was no chance at all?
I think that there wasn't the gap to pass, really close to the wall. I tried to pass Bellegati because the first point he was lagging a little bit. The second point, I think that the victory was the result that fit to me tonight. Yeah. And the third thing, I want to win this race for myself and for the team that gave me this opportunity. But the 29th, I tried to pass because I I reached the slipstream and I moved to the left, but Bellecati closed the door immediately. And I don't have the time to react.
No.
And immediately I turned to the wall and we touched. Fortunately, I didn't broke anything, so I could continue the race with pushing a lot. But yeah, I'm very disappointed for this move. Very, very disappointing.
Yeah, it looked like I thought I was just like, don't do it. Just I thought the gap was there, and I was panicking because I was thinking, do not do this now.
The thing is that I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it because when I opened for passing the car ahead me. Or behind, I don't. Usually they remain to their trajectory, to their lines.
Yes.
But Bellegati moved, and I was surprised.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I can't say any more further, but from where we looked at, from our point of view, it looked like it was like a last-minute decision, but obviously that would be more of the stewards' decisions on that one. But Delange, I just want to sorry, Deledge, sorry. Just want to say massive congratulations for you, mate. And your team have done a magnificent job. I just want to say congratulations again. I'm just going to go pass on to F1 Simu, what do you call it? Well done for second place, mate. Did you, as Craig said earlier, I bet you thought you was going to get guaranteed third, but somehow out of nowhere you got second. I bet you was like you was going to have a champagne after all that. Did you ever thought you might get second after the battle, or do you think you could have gone a little bit better tonight?
I'm not sure I understood clearly the question, but I think you asked me if I could believe that I finished P2 during the race.
Yes, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry,
in the first stint, honestly, I didn't think I could finish on the podium because the first stint was really hard for me. I was in difficult with the car, not confident, and the pit stop changed everything for me. I don't know why, but it was really better after that. And when you stop to go faster than the guys in front of you, it works after laps well and well again. You know what I mean? I didn't look behind me. I just look in front, and it changed everything. And I started to start about the podium in the lap 25 or 26 when I saw that Smokeman was perhaps bearable, but when he closed a little bit the door in the lap 30, I didn't want to take too much risk, so I really thought that P4 will be my ended place.
Yeah, well, like I say, you're not risking it for a biscuit on that one, but fair play to you for getting second. Whatever happens, you have done a magnificent race. So, with everyone else, but you have done a fantastic race, and keep it up wherever you do it. I just want to say for the last question now for Smokeman, you were smoking on getting the P1 tonight, but I bet you were gutted on the last lap when Simo said, I've just got second, just shoot him out of nowhere. I bet he was absolutely gutted, and I thought you would have guaranteed second tonight.
I think the third place was good. It's not a problem. Arrives second or third, so the same.
Oh, okay. Because I thought because we was on the edge of our seats. And the last few corners, Simo, uh, Simo just came out of nowhere and just got second with. It was like a nose on the car, like the whole car. But you know what I mean. It was just like gutting because you did a cracking pole time. You had a struggled, as Craig said earlier. You had a struggle on the the
Uh,
start of it, but I would have thought you would have capitalised on keeping first. But was there any issues that you noticed during the race, or did you think, I know you said third was your best, but did you think you could have kept first, or do you think it was a bit of a tough ask tonight?
sorry, but I don't understand so much. Sorry.
It's all right. I was just saying you kept first after you did your qualifying, but did you think you wish you could have kept first during the race, or did you think it was a tough ask for tonight, basically? Because you got third, but I thought you would have kept first after you had a good qualifying lap.
Yeah, but on the wet condition, I did not have the pace, so I think that I couldn't keeping the first position.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Fair enough. Fair enough. Good. Who kept saying smoking, and he did a qualifying lap I've never seen before in Brazil. And fair play to you, mate. You did a fantastic drive. Same with everyone. I just want to say a big thank you to you guys for a cracking race tonight. And I just want to say, yeah, thank you guys. As, yes. Um, Craig, did you want to announce the driver of the day?
Yeah, we're just going to finally announce the final standings of the race for Group A. So the Formula Italian team has first place with 83 points. Formula Nation are in the second place with 74 points. F1 Spanish team are in third with 38 points, with F1 Simu team finishing fourth with 37. The driver of the day results are in, and Simu Ideu gets 36.36% of the votes and is the driver of the day. So congratulations, Adeo. Absolutely fantastic drive tonight. I just want to say thank you to the drivers for joining us for the post-race interviews. We want to thank everyone for joining us for tonight's stream, and certainly thanks for everyone who cast their votes for the driver of the day and provided us with the comments on the stream. We want to look forward to the next group semi-final, and we certainly hope that you'll join us for being part of that. We want to say thank you to everyone who took part tonight as well, all 11 drivers, and we'll certainly see you another time. It's a good night from myself, and the final words from you, Malk.
Yeah, just, as again, guys, cracking race. Um, Absolutely loved it. Again, edge of our seats. Just keep that going, and hopefully we'll see what happens in the next semi-final. But I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, and I just want to say stay classy, guys, and see you all later. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.